Hello everybody, welcome to Toffee TV. Nick F says, how do lads?
Hello Nick.
There you go.
Yeah,
Sophie
good.
Gallagher says, evening lads, I heard the worst thing ever today. Richarlison to Newcastle, delusion. Never been more higher.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible. That's an incredible story.
That's just nonsense. It wasn't real, it was someone saying it. It's just all nonsense. The Geordies, they love it. Nonsense. Like, to be fair, it probably wasn't even them. It'll just be some...
No, be some gimp. I've seen Reds have started trying to throw it in, haven't they?
Yeah.
Throw it in there. I mean, it'll affect them more.
It'll affect Liverpool more than us, yeah. They're skint. If it even happens.
Lewis G said, Andre Gomez equals GOAT. What a performance.
FIFA, incredible performance on FIFA. Destroyed poor Reece, didn't he there? Reece James just didn't have a chance. 8-0. And he was toying with them at the end.
How does Reece James go back into the dressing room and face those players? How does that happen?
Doesn't, essentially.
I'd sell him on that.
Just on the basis
on
of
the
that.
basis of that.
That he let the club down.
Eugene says, did you watch Everton versus Chelsea? Yes. Lewis, yes. I watched it. Watched it live.
I didn't, I was doing...
Ginger Fish says, give Gomez a pay rise.
I think he's on enough money. I don't think he needs a pay rise.
He's a bit of a shark though, is Andre. Because he owns a gaming team.
He does.
So he's obviously very, very good
At gaming.
at gaming.
On the Al Payton, Gary Wall says, howdy. Hello, Gary. Simon Rouse says, evening all. Gazzy FC says, hello, Gary. How good was Gomez today? Modest as ever as well. Gareth Hughes says, talking about sports documentaries yesterday, what is your favourite sports film? I love Any Given Sunday and Coach Carter. Can't really think of any good football ones apart from Escape. Oh no, Escape to Victory was awful.
No, it wasn't.
Gareth, come on.
No, it wasn't. It was amazing.
It's a classic. Are there any good footy films? Not are there? Because I don't think you can encapsulate it in a film.
No, you can't get the real. Fever Pitch is amazing.
Fever
That's a
Pitch,
footy,
yeah,
yeah.
but that's not really football, is it? It is.
I mean, the whole premise of the film is
it's
football.
Arsenal in '89, isn't it? But it's not. It's more about like the going to the game and stuff. When you're talking about a football film, it's like the on-field football that they try to, like when Saturday comes and they just decide that Bramall Lane's having everything for Sean Bean. Stuff like that. And there was, what was the other one?
Mike Bassett, Nick says.
Mike Bassett. Oh,
Tremendous.
Yeah. Goal. I'm a goal.
Yeah.
Hard.
What's your favourite sports film?
Tough one.
What's your
Mighty
favourite
Ducks.
sports film genre? I think golf's always a good one.
Yeah, Tin Cup, I thought was thingy, and obviously
Golf's always
Happy
a good one.
Gilmore was amazing.
Baseball's always a good one.
Field of Dreams.
Major League.
Yeah.
Moneyball. Moneyball's my favourite.
Moneyball's
I love
brilliant.
Moneyball.
Moneyball is
Lewis
brilliant.
G says the Damned United.
Yeah, the Damned United is good.
Ricky Kane says Mean Machine. Now, Mean Machine could be American football or football because Vinnie Jones done a
Vinnie
football
Jones,
one.
yeah.
But there's been two American football ones, one with Adam Sandler and one with Burt Reynolds.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Basketball.
Has there been any good basketball films?
Space Jam. But what about basketball? Have you ever seen basketball?
No.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's the fellas who made South Park. And basically they designed this game. They're so lazy they can't play. So they create this game where it's basketball. And it's essentially they play it within their yard.
Oh, yeah.
So it's basketball, but for every shot it's baseball rules. So you've got to go around like a baseball diamond, but you actually but it becomes this worldwide phenomenon and they become it's brilliant. It's so stupid, but it's brilliant. Eugene says Gomez will beat Sterling this Friday in the FIFA 20 Cup and Gomez is the dark horse. I don't think he's the dark horse.
I think he's just the horse.
I think he's up there now.
I think
he's
he's
one of the
just the horse.
favourites.
Jimmy Grimble, yeah, that was a belter.
Jimmy Grimble's amazing. Can't really find that anywhere now. I don't know why, but it's a great film.
Main Road, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great film.
Classic film. What are we up to here? what do you make of the Newcastle takeover, Dominic Socia?
No,
I don't know, because it hasn't been done yet, has it? And there's obviously a lot of controversy about it, but I don't know.
If it happens, it happens.
Yeah,
we get on with it.
I don't think it'll be a lot of what you happen with stuff. What you get with stuff like this is mass sensationalism, and you know the numbers are being thrown around. How much they're worth? 250 billion, and they're not putting money like that into a football club.
No,
they put a bid in and all that. I don't know. See what happens. It's just not straightforward anymore. Takeovers. You can't spend the money you think you can. Everton, they've got Usman off there. We can't spend what we want to spend, so it's not going to make much. Yeah, so we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I don't think you can really say much more. There's a lot of that has to be done. The days of Man City, when they come in, and it's not just having a dig at Man City, but it was like, and when Chelsea come in, they could just do whatever they wanted, money-wise, at the start, and go, well, it's our money. But then as the restrictions have got tighter and tighter, it becomes harder to do it, as we found out.
Yeah. Alvaro says, why does the 4-4 game with United always get praised? People forget we bottled the week before against Liverpool and then decided to turn up for a dead rubber. Typical Moyes team, amazing when no pressure on. Does it really get praised? It's got mentioned today because it was on this day 8 years ago. I don't think we sit round talking about it like it was the greatest performance ever. I mean, we went to Old Trafford and do any game that you play which is 4-4 will always be talked about because it's got value. There's 8 goals in it, but
we were 3-1 down and 4-2 down in the game as well, and they were going for the title. So that's why it everyone forgets that 4-4. That was the Aguero season.
Yeah, we didn't have Pina before. That's why.
Yeah. Exactly.
Live Vid says, I'm not bitter. I'm not an economist, but if 4 divisions were made void 1920, the prize money would be donated to the NHS. Any thoughts? No, I don't believe in donating money to the NHS.
I do, but I understand why you don't, and that's a valid reason. But they won't get. They wouldn't get donated though. So
surely the money has to go to the teams to keep them going.
Yeah, it wouldn't get donated. So Sophie reckon Jack Grealish is just agent talk.
Yeah,
I think Everton probably think he's a good footballer, but yeah, I think his agent's trying to get him to United.
Martin says, best dish you can cook up.
Do a nice like pasta, like a bacon. Pasta bacon with grilled cheese kind of dish, which is quite nice.
Okay.
That'll mix up from nothing.
I mean, you don't mix up for nothing, do you?
From nothing.
You don't create the ingredients out of thin air.
Well,
like some kind of wizard.
I'll put the ingredients in and make it almost wizardry.
Okay. I do a Hunter's chicken that I think would probably get a Michelin star.
Hunter's chicken's nice. Yeah. Way nice.
There you go. What's going on Patreon?
Yeah. Patron is Matthew Barry says, evening lads, do you think Indiana Jones franchise was stunted because of the success of Star Wars? This is for you.
No, I don't think it. No, because 2 of the films came out. Well, yeah, came out after Return of the Jedi. I think it's probably because Harrison Ford is just a bit moody and didn't want to make them anymore. And now he's aged out, hasn't he?
He was proper moody.
Yeah, he is still very moody. Oi Oi Ducky says, can Barry lay on the couch? No, because of social distancing.
Yeah, there you go.
Paul says, gut feeling, does the league get called off? No, not a chance.
No, be playing again in 4 weeks. Michael Hulfaker on Patreon says, hey guys, my kids demand more Road to Glory episodes.
You'll get them. Alvaro, when our medical team, especially Danny, he'll get something about stick or something. I don't think our medical team should be getting any stick over Gabaman.
Over Gabaman?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Suddenly all our fans are medical experts who understand.
He wants episodes when I almost fall out my chair.
I mean, but I don't know what would cause him to fall out of his chair. So he's going to have to give me a bit more detail.
What caused me to fall out the chair? Well, it was just when.
Oh, when you fell out the chair? I thought Oh, you
put it in with Kabam when I hadn't
Oh,
finished
okay.
Michael's thing. And Michael pays us every month to be in. So
No, I just thought that I was trying to catch it before he went off.
Connell says, where do you think it went wrong for Jelavic at Everton? Did he just have the form of his life when he first came to us and eventually showing he was nothing more than bang average, or was there a reason?
Fellaini was the reason. Fellaini was the reason. If you remember, all his goals that he used to score were like first time touches into him. His movement was brilliant. He didn't have a lot of pace. His movement was brilliant.
And Kale, he had Kale.
Yeah, when we started playing with Fellaini in between, the ball would go to Fellaini first, and then the ball wouldn't be coming at him first time. He had to almost stop and go back, and for me, that's what ruined them. For me, anyway.
Yeah, it's like the natural way we played changed, and so there was no room. When Kale was there, Kale would flick things on or drag people around, and Jelavic would attack the space. When Fellaini was there was none of that. So we changed the way we played. I think he probably overplayed himself in the first part. With the goals, he exceeded what he should have done. But I think he was a decent striker. But I just think the way we played changed. Adam Conroy says, hey guys, hope we're all keeping well. Do you know much about Chenzelunda linked with an Everton in a possible swap deal with Moyes Keane? Everton liked Chenzelunda and looked at him last year. We wouldn't be swapping him for Moyes Keane. He's a winger. And Everton don't want to let Moyes Keane go. So unless they were bringing another striker in, which I doubt they are, then Moyes Keane won't be going anywhere.
There is a Moyes Keane vid on our Patreon. If you're on Patreon and you want to check that out after this.
Adam, check the Moyes Keane vid on our Patreon.
Yeah.
Given you are a patron.
But if other people want to get on our Patreon and check the Moyes Keane video, go and
cost
do that
of a pint a month. There you go. Gareth Hughes says, Ped's comments last night about likeable characters and getting them in front of cameras so we know their personality doesn't work in the modern game. Tom Davis is a perfect example. All you get off fans is he should learn to pass forward rather than going to New York Fashion Week.
When's he actually in front of a camera? When do we actually, as a club though, put him in front of a camera? And when he went to New York, why didn't we give him a camera to do a little video diary of him and Dom's trip? What I mean is, it's fine putting them in front of a camera, like taking a picture. No, I'm talking about getting to know the personality of these people, so you actually like them, so you want it, so you're rooting for them, so you understand them. That's what I'm talking about. Not taking pictures of them, like it's different, isn't it? And you're not going to make everyone like someone, of course, you know, but you've got to try at least.
Yeah. Interesting. It is. He says about the pressure. There's so much pressure on footballers that, you know, people don't give them that opportunity. You know, should be concentrating on his football, not life and all that. But difficult. You get to know people, then you're always willing to give them more time.
You back them.
Aren't you?
You back them rather than.
You make them robots. They are easier to just go.
Yeah.
Nonsense. If there is only 14 likes, you're a disgrace. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But there's 2 thumbs downs, and I love that because I love the cop-outs coming on and getting bitter and giving
Ginger
thumbs
Fish
downs,
says,
boss.
if we get another centre-back, would you think Holgate plays centre midfield with Gomez? No, I think Holgate's going to be our first choice centre-back. Simple as that.
Interesting. There'd be a good battle. If Gabriel did come in and obviously he's left-footed, then you would have 3. You'd have him, Mina and Holgate battling it out, wouldn't you? I think Michael Keane would be moved on if there was obviously if there was an interest in him. Because I think the pathway's there for Gibson. I think that's what they've got in their mind, Lewis Gibson. So,
Lee, boys, did you watch Game of Thrones? If you did, isn't your mate Andy the Piv the double of Sam Tarly? He is. Same kind of like mind as him as well. You know, getting deep into the books, which is what Sam Tarly does. Yeah,
full on Samwell Tarly.
Yeah. Someone just said there did we finish Ozark. I haven't started Ozark.
I've finished the first series and watched 2 of the second series.
I've not been watching anything this week really. It's been I haven't really been into. I've been watching like loads of sports documentaries, but like I was watching Money Heist last week, but I haven't really watched that this week. It's been I don't know, I found it difficult to just sit down and watch things. Don't know why. I just go through phases where I can't really concentrate on. I want to concentrate on one thing more than another. And this week I've been in a sports documentary news mood.
I watched Quiz, which I thought was dead interesting, about the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire thing. It was quite good on ITV. I've been watching Disney Plus again, which is good. Where are we?
Ian says, is the news that the broadcasters are unlikely to ask for their money back should the season end before the game's completed? Welcome our 80% way to revenue worries me. The season will be getting played. I'm honestly 99% sure that they'll play the last 9 games. Celtic Vape says, what about the Ballad of Dixie and Kenny? I was in that. Terrible film. Terrible film. Stephen Foster says, money heist is hard work to get into. I found it very, very easy to get into. But as I said probably last week, it's just that it's the dubbing of the voices can be a little bit off-putting. Just a little bit off-putting. But it's definitely a good show. I think it's one of the highest rated shows on Netflix at the moment. I think it's had huge success.
Interesting. Kane says, I love how Piers Morgan is calling out how bad the government are handling this. Every time he interviews a minister on TV, it always shows us how most of them don't have a clue, and also shows how much they're hiding if it's true about the death toll being wrong. Apparently it's 41,000 rather than 17,000. Who's saying it's 41,000 though? I don't think anybody knows, Kane. That's the problem, and people are estimating and going, when they include them, then that means it'll be this, but yeah.
I don't know. I think they're happily leaving some out. Jeff says, to everyone here, what are the top 10 departures that you're most gutted about in the Premier League area? Top 10? Come on, Jeff. Got to give us sensible questions.
Steve, in my eyeballs, seen a few tweets from Baz saying Big Dunker's manager couldn't get me head around. Awful shout. Seems a glorified Sam Allardyce. Listen, I'm not going to... If that's your opinion, Sam, then you've got your opinion. I've got a much different opinion. And let's just leave it there.
Paul says, if you're into boxing, then sports documentary Sonny Liston, the champ no one wanted, is a good one. I watched the one about Tommy Morrison last night. That was dead sad how that ended for him when he got after he got AIDS, HIV and stuff. Mad, really mad. Adam says, how much do you think the coronavirus will affect what Everton have to spend in the transfer market? Well, it'll massively affect it if we don't get the games finished, because the money won't be around, so it'll massively affect it. So, you know. Nathaniel says, do any of you play an instrument? If so, play Z-cars. I don't play an instrument.
I can play Z-cars all, like, not very well on the piano.
Look, I thought you were going to say recorder then.
Recorder? Imagine it.
Alex Kay says the Chicago Bulls doc is brilliant. Yeah, I've watched the first 2.
I'm 1.5.
Joust watched the Gomez game. Class, that's from John. I think he means just.
Srikar Kandala, a movie that you loved that you didn't think you would. The Greatest Showman.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good one, that actually. I don't know. I don't start many films that I think I'm going to love. Do you know what I mean? I'm normally quite good at looking at like trailers and going, nah. Like I literally have a list of films I'm never going to watch.
Fair enough.
Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I don't know. That's a.
Nick F. Big Duncan should be groomed as number 2 to take over for Manchester. I think he will be, Nick, to be honest. But each to their own. Each to their own. People who don't like Dunk probably made up with Martinez, or Koeman, who was woeful as a manager, but there you go. Oi Ducky, Tim Cahill as manager. Well, he's got to become a coach first and do things rather than just being boss on Instagram.
Will Cook, When We Were Kings, is a good spot. It's a brilliant documentary, When We Were Kings, about Muhammad Ali fighting Rumble in the Jungle. It's so fascinating, like the way that all ended up. What else we got? Whiplash is one of my favourite films of the last few years. Yeah, that's a good film, Whiplash. About the drummer. That's good. It is good.
Paul Thornton says, hi guys, say you had 3 managerial candidates to take over from Silva. Howard Kendall, Carlo Ancelotti or Joe Royle, which one would you pick to give Everton success in the future?
Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah.
I'd imagine. Only, I mean, are we talking about them people at their peak or?
I don't know. Afternoon, lads, if you could take one Everton player from the 90s and put them in the side, who would it be? Kanchelskis.
Yeah. Or Beardsley. But probably Kanchelskis.
Or Nev from 1990. Proper goalie, that saves everything for the first few years would be good. Gazzy FC says, watch the video today on Moise Keane. I'd like to keep him around. The lad just needs minutes on the pitch. It's been difficult given the form of Dom and Richie. I've been in great form until a break, but once he gets his proper minutes, we'll see what he's capable of. Steve Kelly says the Mighty Ducks is his favourite. Stuart Thompson says any given Sunday, but he hates American football.
Yeah, it's good.
Brian's song. Don't know what that is. That a sports doc.
What's it about?
That's from Gary.
What's it about?
Slapshot. Remember Slapshot? Remember the game Slapshot? It was amazing.
Ice
hockey game. Gazzy FC says basketball is hilarious.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Gary Ward says Caddyshack. Caddyshack is funny. The golf on Chevy Chase.
I prefer Caddyshack 2. The first one's a bit mad, but I like the second one's a bit more, I don't know.
Stuart Thompson says, I do a bit of DVD sales and I might have Jimmy Grimble kicking around. I'll send it to you.
I think I've actually got it.
Have you?
I think I've actually got it, yeah.
It's a classic, Grimble.
Classic.
Richard Parr said the National League voted to end the season today. Hopefully the net is closing for the Premier League.
Yeah,
Rich,
but
right. Get played, Rich, honestly.
But, okay, right. If I was to say to people, right, the benefits of finishing the season are Liverpool don't win the league, right? And if that's a benefit, let's just say. But then the negatives are, well, Everton will have no money to buy any players this summer. And then they probably won't be able to get rid of any players. Means that we'll be watching the same players next season. Which one would you rather? Honestly, which one would you rather have? Also, that would mean no footy as well till August, September. So we're not going to have any footy till then. Which one would you rather have? Like, I'd already well accepted Liverpool were going to win the league. And if they do win it, they're going to win it with no fans in front of them. No parades. They're just going to be handed the trophy. The Liverpool fans can't go to the pub to celebrate. So what? They've won it, and listen. If that means the 9 games get played and they win it, but we get our pot of money for next season, then I'll take that. I'll be honest, I will. That's for me. That's selfish, but I want Everton to be competing next season. This season's in terms of whatever is done. So, Jacko says, "Do you own a bread bin?"
Yes, I do actually. Yeah.
I don't. We don't own a bread bin. I must admit. We don't own one. We don't consume a lot of bread though.
No,
that's probably why.
I don't have a lot of bread. Don't have a lot of bread at all. But I do own a bread on a wooden one, like it with it's obviously the slidey thing on it.
Sophie, it will all be behind closed doors. We might not be back in stadiums till September, October, even maybe next year if they don't get this vaccine sorted. Simple as that.
Yeah, it is as simple as that.
Martin Edwards says a sport movie, Black Ball, about Crown Green bowling.
That's incredible.
Is that real?
Be incredible.
Okay.
Stuart
Stewart says, I just want a fresh start.
After all.
Is that, yeah. I agree, but I just think that...
Thomas Ewing says, do you think injuries to key players ruined Marco Silva?
No, I think Marco Silva ruined Marco Silva by just not being a very good manager. I think he might be a good coach, I just don't think he's a very good manager.
I mean, there's your answer.
Oi Ducky says, why is it called a bin?
I know. That's a good question. I don't actually know.
But is a bin...
Isn't a bin somewhere where you keep stuff?
That's what I'm going to say, is a bin
stuff
that we call a bin actually, should that be called a bin?
But we're keeping it.
I know, but
but we're keeping rubbish in
But
it.
that's what I'm saying, no.
A waste bin, it's called.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
this is a bread
bin.
So maybe a bin. What about when you put a top bin? Put the ball in the top of the net and it keeps it. Maybe we're using bin wrong.
Jeff says, do you think the purchase of Newcastle should be stopped?
Yeah. Defo.
All right, if you had one, right? If you had one choice, this is for everyone.
I'm only messing. Come on.
You only get one of these. You can either stop Newcastle being bought, or stop Liverpool winning the title.
I'm not answering.
I'd say stop Newcastle getting bought, because Liverpool have already won the title, haven't they?
Yeah.
So, I'd say, right, on the Newcastle thing, right, I think there's two ways to look at it. The people who are buying them are really, really despicable people, right? But I'm pretty sure we've already got despicable people in the Premier League. And what are we actually, we're all, the things that Saudi Arabia are being claimed to do, they're doing every day. And we already turn a blind eye to it every single day. So suddenly that they buy a football club and suddenly that's gonna be the difference. We've turned our backs on all this. There's atrocities going on all over the world that we turn our backs to every single day. There's stuff going on Yemen right now which is just horrendous. Yeah, our governments sell guns and stuff to Saudi Arabia. It is the way it is.
Lewis said, never thought I'd spend my lockdown having deep discussions about bins.
Why didn't you think that?
Well, because why would he? Gareth Hughes on Twitter says, hi lads, what's your favourite sandwich? Sunday lunch, leftover sandwiches, mine, beef or whatever meat soaked in gravy with stuffing. No, perfection on the Morrison salt and pepper balm. What's mine? Favourite sandwich, tuna. With a bit of, maybe a little bit of cheese on it. Maybe.
Cheese and tuna?
Yeah, lovely.
Oh my God.
But I don't really eat sandwiches though. Really?
I like
don't eat that much bread.
a nice bagel. Toasted, of course. Got to be toasted. Some salami or pastrami. I love pastrami. A little bit of cheese and a little bit of mustard, grain mustard. Beautiful. Can't beat it. James says, too many people cutting their nose off to spite their face. Newcastle getting billions of human rights violation money would be a disaster for sport. There you go, James. Well said.
Ellis says, I have no issue with Newcastle getting taken over early, but the chairman of the fund buying them is Mo bin Salman, known as a murderer, an actual murderer. How is that allowed?
I mean, I'm more worried about why you have no issue with Newcastle getting taken over, if I'm honest.
England enslaved half the world, cancel EPL, happy. That's mail me. Okay.
I agree. We're the worst country on earth.
Richard Parr said the National League voted to end the season today. Oh, said that before, didn't I? Paul Catzel said, you're on it, lad. Afternoon, lads and fellow Blues. What is your all-time favourite Everton kit, home and away? Didn't we do this yesterday?
Yeah, we did that yesterday.
Paul, come on. Oh, you said he wasn't watching it yesterday. We done it yesterday, mate, but I would have blue socks instead of white socks with our own.
I'd have all blue.
So there you go.
John Cully says, I watched Sleepers last night. That was a line out of it. No religion or politics. It's a good film, Sleepers. Have you seen Sleepers?
Don't think so.
It's about these boys who are in New York and they're all good kids.
Oh yeah.
And one thing causes them to...
Matthew Lumsden, you've got to answer that one in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they end up in something happens one summer. They're messing about, something bad goes wrong, they end up in a boys' home. When they're in the boys' home, they get abused. It leads them in...
great, yeah.
No, it is, it's really good. It leads them in different paths. They see one of the people who abused them one night, a couple of them have gone bad. See a couple of people, see this fella, and they murder him. And then they've got to try and... then they have to work to get to get these two lads off.
Okay.
It's you got to watch it, but it's really really good. But the guy who wrote it said it was based on a true story, and then the New York, I think it was set in New York, but then the New York whatever came out and said we've got no record of this trial or this thing, but the fellow was adamant that it was based on a true story, and it was about, and he was saying that the New York were covering up abuse in care homes by saying that it wasn't a true story. I mean, if it was true, like if the story of it, because it's very, because what happens is there's 4 lads, 2 of them are up for murder, one of them is trying to get them help, and the other one, who's played by Brad Pitt, is actually the person who's trying them in the court.
Oh, okay.
And it becomes a big, and Robert De Niro's in it as a priest as well. It is very, very
Philip
good.
McDonald read the book and couldn't sleep for worlds. For ages. Matthew Lumsden said, when are the Dolphins taking over? Maybe they already have.
They are taking over right now.
Universal and SeaWorld or Walt Disney World, which would you choose?
I wouldn't go to SeaWorld. I'll never go to SeaWorld ever again.
Walt Disney World for me.
So it's going to be Walt Disney.
I like Universal, it is boss.
Island Adventure is my favourite park.
But Disney World as a package is the best for me. Keith Powell says, hey lads, greetings from the damp head. Now we know how animals in zoos feel in quarantine.
Seen that a couple of weeks ago, picture.
Yannick Melendez, Broke documentary from ESPN 30 for 30 is outstanding.
What's it about? Because I don't always know the names.
Don't think everyone understands that the majority of professional athletes end up broke.
Oh, I have seen that, yeah. No, that's about American footballers. And they say 5 years after they're finished, most of them are broke. Because they
sign big contracts.
Well, they're not educated
to
understand how to use their money. They have huge entourages that basically take all their money off them. They have like all these bits and pieces that their money. So basically, when they're getting money, they're not realising how much money they've got because they've always got money. And the minute that they stop having money, those things just drain all their money away. And it's like within 5 years, none of them have got anything. It's really, really interesting. And it should be an education for any sportsman of how to look after your money.
Okay. Ghazi FC says Mr. Calzaghe is a great one of my favourite boxers ever.
I met him in Disneyland Paris.
Joe Calzaghe?
I met him and I had a chat with him and I said, what are you doing here? He was like, Hello had brought him and it was his ex-girlfriend. Now, I'd brought him to do a show. I was like, talking for ages with him, just having a chat with him, because she was getting pictures and he was just sitting there. I was like, Joe, yeah. I said, what are you up to? And then he ended up being part of the parade on the back of a thing, and no one knew who he was, but it was all just for the pictures for a low.
Madness.
There you go. I also met Jesus Navas in Disneyland Paris. I mean, you know what I mean?
And Henry on YouTube.
And Pastoni in Florida.
There you go. Ellis Quinton says, I don't get the idea of mass investments in Newcastle. FFP will stop them if not the standards for different clubs is ridiculous. We reportedly can't spend big because of FFP, but UEFA is corrupt.
They'll get one.
They won't be able to spend big. They'll have one go at it and they won't be able to go ridiculous because they'll never ever be able to make that money back up within 3 years. So the most they could probably spend is about 150, 200 million maximum. And then they'd have to then spend the next 2 years making that back. So, don't forget, it's not designed to help clubs come break into the big 4, big 6, whatever.
Lucas wants to know what's a bread bin.
Somewhere where you store your bread.
It's like a thing where,
like a
sliding door, you put your bread in there and it's supposed to, like, you know,
keep
stop
the bread fresh.
Keep the air. I don't know.
Allegedly.
Don't know if it does that because surely air can get in it.
I don't eat a lot of bread, so.
No, I don't.
Matthew Barry says, have you seen Roberto Martinez's comments about it being a catastrophe if European football leagues aren't completed? He knows all about catastrophes in Europe, Alcaraz and Atsu and Kiev. Matthew also said Major League was a great sports film. It was. Michael Woods watched Saving Private Ryan last night, forgot how much he loved it. Ruse says 30 for 30, Reggie Miller versus the Knicks.
I've seen that.
Great very story, good. Very entertaining with Spike Lee involved. Icarus is also amazing. Films, Secretariat and Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit is amazing.
Okay.
Have you seen Seabiscuit?
Don't think so.
You've not seen it? It's really good, you know. I think you'd like it. It'd be right up your street.
Oh. Did I tell you the Dutch League is going to be cancelled? Yeah, I've seen that before, Keith, madness. Well, not really madness, but we just done something on that on the footy show about it.
Lewis G says, what is the first thing you'll do when the lockdown is over?
Go and hug me mum. And me dad.
Yeah, it's going to see Mum and Dad, yeah. John Cully says, bang on, Ped. Yeah, no proof of it being a true story, but you know your stuff. Very good film, though. I watched that Last Dance as well. Excellent documentary so far. Better Call Saul, latest episode was good. Yeah, The Last Dance is excellent, and Better Call Saul, I've heard like loads of people talking about it recently, saying how good it is.
Jacko, you've started a bread bin conversation here. That's far-reaching.
Fascinating.
It's down to you, mate. Michael Wood says, if FFP is relaxed and the season gets cancelled, Big Alistair will work his magic and smash the window. But maybe he will.
Well, if FFP is relaxed, of course, which Jeff says.
Otherwise, we've got no chance.
Kevin Rex says, Andre the Giant documentary is great. I'm really sad. It is great. It is really, really good. Whether you're into wrestling or not, it's so good. Wilk says, have you seen the Andre the Giant documentary? And are there any sporting moments you'd like to be made into a documentary? Honestly, the Andre the Giant one is so good and so sad as well, though. Like, just when you hear about him, when he says, this is a man who spent all his life in pain. He said, think about this, right? This is a fella who had to fly from New York to Japan quite regularly, right? And he said, at no stage in that could he go to the toilet, like normally, like a normal person. So he had to put a screen around him and he had to pee into a bucket while being on a plane. Imagine the indignity of that. He said, but that's what he had to do. He said, because there's no way he could... Think about how small a toilet is. He said, that's what he had to do. And he said, that was his life. So sad.
Gary Wall says, Brian's song, James Caan plays Brian Piccolo, an NFL player who has cancer. It's a true story. Richard Parr says, why are we asked about Newcastle being bought? Tin Pot Club with a Tin Pot history. A bit of blood money won't change that. Stephen Kelly says, I think with Moise Keane, we have to remember he's a 19-year-old kid who's come to a new country, didn't speak the language. It's been embarrassing the way some of our fans have been towards him with shouts of him being a fraud, etc. I think he'll be better next season. Gary Ward says, how has no one mentioned Rocky or Creed as a sports film?
Yeah, but they're all right.
Gazzy FC says, I'm
in Creed.
I'm sure we are, yeah. I'm sure we'll all agree that the best sports documentary is Howard's Way. Steve Kelly also says, Ellis Sims, you think the idea for the lad is to send him out on loan or another season in the 23s?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. Sorry.
Say
Mark Smith says, I've been an extra in Narcos 2 and 3 here in Bogota.
That's incredible.
I mean, that's up there.
Mark's always on, isn't he? Because he's always fuming that there's no Everton shirts. But that's all right, Mark. That is impressive, to be fair.
I'd tell you what's a good documentary, sports documentary as well. Someone just mentioned something about America. There's a sports documentary called Once in a Lifetime. And it's about the American League when it got started in the late 70s. Pele and everyone. It's brilliant. Really, really good. And actually they say in it how players got picked to go and be in Escape to Victory.
Have you watched the New York Cosmos documentary? That's an absolute belter as well. That's a hell of a one.
Isn't that
Pele's in it?
Isn't that equivalently this? Isn't that the same one?
I don't know. Cosmos, it is brilliant.
Paul says, do you know about XFL, Vince McMahon's league, declared bankrupt when he's worth billions? Yeah, and it's the second time it's gone bankrupt. Second time, and there's a good documentary about that as well. Yeah, it's gone back. Like when the first time it was done, it was like they were doing it like it was proper wrestling.
Kevin Rex, didn't you watch that the other day? Kevin Rex's one.
Ric Flair, what's the deal? It was amazing. Oh, what a man, what a life. Basically, he's got like just every day he'd come back to his wife and his kids and just be like, "This is why I stay out on the road." And just get off and get bladdered, and she'd be like, his missus would be like, "You should be in." He's like, "You joking, aren't you?" He said, "I've got the best life in the world."
Didn't you say he was banging everything?
Oh, he said he reckoned 10,000 he'd gone through.
Fair play to him. He likes to dip it about. Gazzy FC says, Andre the Giant could put a ridiculous amount of ale away too. I've heard some mad stories about his drinking exploits.
He basically couldn't get drunk.
Because he was so big. James Perry said, if you could have a behind-the-scenes documentary made about any era in Everton's history, which would it be? I'd have 84, 85, because they're amazing. And we actually win stuff.
94, 95.
Would you?
Yeah.
That starts off with like Walker.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. And then that'd be dead interesting.
Interesting.
Alex says, Senna and Icarus, brilliant. Both of them are brilliant. Senna's amazing. Icarus is amazing. Michael D says, if lockdown is lifted and social distance still in place, how will playing football behind closed doors work? It'll work. They'll just make it work. It'll work.
I love that.
It's the same as... Sorry.
This isn't the thing about Michael, but I've heard this before. People go, hang on, but what if social distancing's still going on? How can they play footy? The rules are different.
What about
for
supermarkets? Do people who work in supermarkets social distance? Because they don't distance from me when I'm walking around it. So, footballers will be tested every day, I imagine, or whatever. Mark Smith says we'll lose enough to provide the steel for Brantley Moore.
I think he probably
I think he'll lift the steel.
Maybe. Just there on the first day.
There?
Like pair of jeans on, builder's belt, arse crack on show. Yeah. Just full on lifting. If Farhad looks a bit more like turn up with like a pair of khaki pants on and a shirt tucked in with the sleeves rolled up.
No. Mashiri will have a suit on, but he'll have the helmet and walk in with a low. No, but like you see them in the films where they have but he'll walk in with the plans and put them down on the front of a car and go.
But I think the shirt tucked in.
PT, yes, PT box and the mugs are still available and are getting shipped. Everything's still getting shipped.
Keep getting them questions, yeah? Can I still buy mugs? Yes, it's
still buy everything. Buy a mug and a t-shirt.
Ellis Quinton says, Rodriguez, Coutinho, Grealish, who would you take?
Grealish. Genuinely, I'd have Grealish out of them three.
Yeah, if it was one out of three, it'd be Grealish. Kevin Rex says, what's Howard's way this week? Had tears in my eyes when Colin Harvey was talking about the day Howard passed away. Yeah, it is a tear, yeah, like. Did Liverpool wanting to use furlough confirm their Tory status?
Yeah.
I think Liverpool probably just thought there won't be as much outcry because, let's be honest, Liverpool, the people who make the decisions at Liverpool aren't in Liverpool.
No.
And they're not, they haven't got the finger, their ear to the ground or the finger on the pulse, whichever one you want to. And it was only, obviously, because Everton hadn't, and with the outcry of what Liverpool fans who were disgusted by it, let's be honest, that they had to change it. So.
Very much so. The body in the pool of the poor fella who was found in Barrymore's pool is shocking, disgusting that he's still on TV. It is a bad one. It's not a sports documentary, but it's not very nice at all. Man's a dickhead.
Have you seen Stanley Matthews documentary? That was a good one. That's from Gazzy FC. I've not seen it, mate.
No.
Not seen that one. What else have
Pippin says it's okay, the players were playing those bubble balls 6 feet wide. I remember when I played in one of them, it was hilarious. Bloody hilarious.
Michael Barrett says Usmanov will have steel jacked up on stacks of cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Spreading it like that. Be amazing. Alex K, how much would you let Pickford go for? Well, it depends who we're getting in. Because we can't sell Pickford just for the sake of it, can we? And we haven't got anyone at the club currently who could even do the job, half the job he can do.
No,
so
not half of it, anyway.
We'd have to get another keeper like...
Depends which half.
Donnarumma or Meret or one of those, the other one, Stoikovsky or whatever his name is. Sarkovsky is another one. But it's whether they did. It's gone.
What's happening on the Patreon?
The patrons have dried up. Literally. Gone to the well, and the well is dry. Of patrons. They're just happily listening. Michael Wood says, when's the stadium plan and permission meant to be reviewed or announced?
In the summer.
Yeah, it's probably like late June, July, mate. I think that the plan is for them to start work late August, early September, if things obviously are able to. So, Paul123 says, what's the documentary about the fake footballer who basically blagged their career, signed for about 10 different clubs and never played a single game for anyone?
He was the one in South America, wasn't he? I didn't know there was a documentary. I knew that was a story, but I didn't know. So if anyone can point me in the direction of that documentary, I'd be very interested.
Yeah,
in
it sounds boss. Big P Cat says, sorry lads, didn't see yesterday. It's Vid, Everton home kit for me, royal blue, white, and amber and navy away. Yeah, amber and navy as an away kit's amazing, but I like the blue socks, I've got to be honest. Be honest. John Cully says, I don't know if Gascoigne's documentary was mentioned, but that was very good.
That's on Netflix, isn't it, at the moment? Will Cook says, I wanted to make a documentary about Colin Harvey for a student film. Genuinely think he's the best life story in EFC history and think that everyone should know about him. It's a good point.
There's a good point.
Jacko said should get Onana from Ajax. Toothy says, what's are both your mother's first names? And it's just it's not Batman and Superman, is it? Do you know what I mean? Mine's
called.
Not called Martha. Steve John says, I like the Beardsley period, salmon, pink and blue. Love it, it's over there. Empress Touch says, okay, he's replying to someone, so can't be asked when he replied to someone. Will Cook says about the fake players called Kaiser Ped. Also, we're out Trainer.
Oh, Trainer's brilliant. Trainer is brilliant about the German coaches. So, 6 Streams though on Amazon. That's brilliant. Stephen Kelly says the most famous sportsman to come out of Liverpool.
The most famous sportsman,
he says.
Well, I'm just...
Wayne Rooney?
Rooney or Gerrard,
yeah,
I'd say. John Conte was huge, 70s. Yeah. And then obviously you've got, like, more recently, you've got, like, KGT.
Who?
The girl, Johnson Thompson. She's going to be an Olympic champion. She'll be. You got any decent footballer, but I'd say Gerrard and Rooney at the moment.
Peter Reid, people like that. You go back.
Gerrard and Rooney would be the two.
They'd be the two most famous. They're worldwide names, aren't they? Eugene says Napoli have opened the door for an Alan exit. They have. They certainly have. Mayelmi says Pickford is England's number 1. Where to go? B2B says, apart from the Scousers, what players do you think understand Everton the most?
Irish, maybe. I don't know. Sure. Robbie says Kaiser, the greatest footballer never played.
Nick says the same thing, yeah.
Brilliant. Kaiser, keep me out for that.
Malt PM says FT, say 41k. Is that for people dead?
That'd be people dead. Yeah, that's probably...
Well, maybe it is.
That's probably
But that's because the worst thing... You know what the worst thing about them numbers, and people quote the numbers, and I know that they've done a lot of... if there's been any link to COVID, they included in the deaths, whether it's killed them or not. But the biggest thing with those numbers is the numbers they've got recorded. So they'll go like 130,000 cases in Britain and 41,000 have died, say. The reality is there's probably been like 500,000 cases in England. There's all the people who've had it at home. I know 3 people who've had it.
The numbers are
3
less.
Close people who've had it, right? Who have not been hospitalised, not been tested.
Yeah, there's loads like that.
And have been fine.
Do you reckon there's loads? Do you reckon there could be loads dead who haven't been tested? So therefore, how would you know? The numbers. And
loads alive who haven't been tested.
The numbers are, of course, the numbers are down, because if you don't know someone's got something, then you know that's why the thing with the care homes. They ain't counting the care homes because they ain't testing them. So how would you know? And now they've started to test them. Do you know? The numbers will be well down. It's always going to be. It's always going to be best case scenario, not worst case scenario. They don't want you knowing how many people have died from this, because they know that might cause people to start having a bit of uproar. Stuart, if you could fight one footballer, who would it be? Why was that just directed at me?
Because they know I'm not going to fight the size. There's not many my size, is there?
If I could fight one footballer, who's a footballer I really dislike? I don't know. I'll come back to you on that one.
I hate loads of them.
Blue Boy Stu says, I need to pick John Pallet as the sportsman. He's even got Big Dunk in his family. Yeah, but he's not the biggest. Is that in case?
He's a big name, though, John. But he's not like worldwide.
Snooker's not a big sport.
Worldwide, he wouldn't be.
It's going to be a footballer because that's the biggest sport in the world. Will Cook says, what's your favourite Everton book? Read Looking for the Toffees not too long ago and loved it, but Two Tribes is personally my favourite. I don't read a lot of books, but I read like Nev's autobiography. That was good. But I'm not a big reader. I'll be honest. Not a big reader. I'm a video guy. I always have been.
Looking for Toffees is good. That's Brian Varner who we've got. I've Ratcliffe. I've read quite a few. I liked Samuel Thornton. Yeah, I'll fight John Collins. Yeah, every day of the week. Rat or Arteta. Kevin Rex says Tony Bellew.
No.
Yeah, he's going to fight a boxer, isn't he?
No, I think he means
Oh, the most famous. Oh, sorry. No way, he's Bellew.
No.
Not,
It's a footballer.
not
It's either Gerrard or Rooney. That you can't underestimate how big they are as people.
Yeah.
They are massive worldwide stars.
Richard Folks says, I think you'd have to sell Pickford first to get maximum value, but have a deal in place for another keeper.
John, I like Roy Keane. I think Roy Keane's
of
great,
course.
mate. I love Roy Keane. I love his, how open and honest he is.
Gerrard. Like to fight Gerrard.
I won't fight any footballer, I don't think, actually, because they're very fit.
Yeah, they're strong.
Knock me around the park all day.
Yeah, it's true. Alex says, sounded like Ped wanted to fight John Spencer. I just like to throw a pasty at John Spencer. I want to fight him, but throw a pasty at on his back or something. He was a beauty.
I hated Suarez when he was at Liverpool.
Oh, horrible fella. Horrible fella. Matthew Barry says, if you could only listen to one album, what would it be?
And again, I'm not massively into music. I don't really listen to albums. I'd say I'd say one. If I had to, someone said you've got to listen to this forever, it would be the Oasis Tingo album. Well, what's it called?
Look Back in Anger.
No, it's not one of their proper albums.
Oh,
It's their
right.
B-sides album, which was amazing. Be that.
I'd listen to. I like a lot of music, but I'd listen to George Michael, Cowboys and Angels. Classic album. Blue Boy Stew says, I reckon you'd slap John Spencer, but yeah. Lewis says Suarez would just bite you. Yeah, he would. You'd have to be make sure you can move. But all right, shouldn't you be on another? Hasn't he got a live stream for another channel to be doing or something?
I don't know, just copy this one. Have you played any good games since Red Dead? I'll tell you what I played last week and I forgot to tell you about it. Right. So at the master plan, that's it, Kevin. Free at the moment is a game called Journey on the PS, right? And it's a little 2-hour game. Oh, it's
2 hours, that's all.
But it's bosh, mate. Honestly, like emotionally, you're in this world.
Do I want to be emotionally dragged
No,
in?
honestly, no, not emotionally. As in, like, it's so uplifting.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, all the way through. But what I didn't realise was I kept on seeing other people, like the same character as me. And what I didn't realise was when you're playing the game, you encounter other people playing their game as well, but you don't know who they are, and you communicate through like weird. These little sounds, and it's all mute. Oh my God,
good.
Honestly, it's amazing. You will feel like someone. I was reading a couple things about it, and people have different things about it, but some people were saying it was the closest they'd ever felt to like religion or any kind of spiritual. And I can but play it and I fully get it because it was so
Have you completed it?
Yeah. Okay. But at the end, it's like, do you want to play it again? And I'm going to play it again because it's a little puzzle game. But this little person is you just want to look after them, and you don't know why. It almost feels like you're trying to get to like some kind of spiritual end. Honestly, if anyone's played Journey, let me know.
Baz, do you believe in ghosts, Pet? Do you rate Les Dennis as a person?
I
rate Les Dennis. I rate Les Dennis.
Fair play to him.
I rate little Les as well for what he had to go through.
What he went through.
We'd all like to.
I think we'd all go through a bit of that in our lives.
We could all go through it.
We'd all have to. If we had to go, if someone says to me, "Would you go through what Les Dennis has had to go through in his life?" I'd say yeah. I'd say I would.
I'd like to condense it to a certain period in his life when he was going through stuff quite regularly.
If I had to go through the period, I'd go through the period. Yeah. But if it meant getting through that,
got through. Lewis says Journey is an amazing game.
There you go.
The Amazon documentary on the Brazil team is good if you can live with the subtitles.
Well, I can live with subtitles.
Stuart wants to know if I'm doing any more TikTok dances.
I didn't know you'd done any TikTok dances.
I've done the woe, didn't I, Moish? Maybe we'll do some. We haven't. I don't see you do.
No. Can I just say something, right? I do not like forced, like social media. Okay. So I remember when Snapchat come out, and it was like, oh, I've got to get Snapchat, everyone's on Snapchat, and you get it, and you're like, when you're forcing yourself to do something...
No, it's just we're on lockdown, and we've got it.
No, the point being is, I don't do TikTok, and I don't do Snapchat, and I don't do, like, Instagram Live, or anything. And I think, if you're good at stuff, you do it, or if you want to do stuff, you do it. I do a lot of Twitter, and that's my thing. But
I think Stuart said, though, I'm good at the dancing, so he's telling me
I think he said, are you going to do any more?
As your dancing is totally entertaining.
Well, there you go. But what I'm saying is, though, if you do that because you want to do it, that's fine. And if I did it, I'd do it if I wanted to do it, but I don't. But I don't like the idea of being forced into doing things.
No, never
unless it's to be Les Dennis's life story. If I was forced into that, I don't think it'd take much force. But, you know.
Has Les Dennis ever... I wonder if he ever has to spend time in that relationship with Liz Haley as well.
What?
I can imagine being at swap with him that day.
I don't think Les Dennis has been anywhere near.
No, just being
Liz
in the
Haley.
same vicinity, yeah. Where are we? Stephen Kelly said, did you watch the SAS show with Bellew in it?
No.
Okay. I mean, he's asked and I've asked. School of Science is a great book about the history of the club, from the origins to Rooney. Yeah. I mean, have you got anything to add?
No.
Okay.
Can't add anything to something I don't know about, really, can I?
I seen a good one there for... I can't believe you haven't got 100 likes, by the way. Not 90. That to me is absolutely woeful.
Which one did you like? What was it about? I'll see if I can find it.
No, I was saying there was something about Sky, but I didn't get a chance to read it.
Hang on, I'll tell you now. I've got the full thing here. Hang on. No.
Truth the Orifice wants to know, what did you think of the Tiger King? Do you think
it was good? It was good. It was good, but did you think it was odd that Joe's first two husbands were not gay? I did think that was a bit weird, that his husbands were not gay, but one of them loved meth, and the other one shot his own brain out in front of a lad. And so when you think about those two things, you can understand. They were both basically crackheads who were rinsing him and didn't mind throwing it in their mouth once in a while to justify it.
The fellas did. Oh, fair play to them.
But it was an alright show. But if you go and watch, if you haven't seen Don't F With Cats, watch that and then come back and tell me about which one's more messed up, because I know which one's more messed up. And it's not the Tiger King. Tiger King's just like fluffy.
So now we all know which one's more messed up.
Well, it's Don't F With Cats. Tiger King's a sound, but it wasn't like... I was expecting it to be this mad thing, but it wasn't. The maddest thing I found in it was when the girl gets her arm chopped off. Nick F says, watch Vice Wrestling documentary about Chris Benoit. I will do. I was once 2 feet away from Chris Benoit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I lived to tell the tale.
Someone wants to know when you're going
to... Do you know what happened to Chris Benoit?
No. Was he a wrestler or something?
Yeah. Killed his wife, killed his son, and killed himself.
Did he?
Yeah.
Because of steaks?
He said it was all their brain trauma on his head.
Okay.
The amount of times he banged his head. When they'd done the thing on his head, they took it out and they've got away. There's a film.
Wasn't the thingy about when the NFL fella had the same thing?
Well, no, it's the same thing. There's a film with Will Smith. It's a really good film. You haven't seen it. And it's this African doctor who comes over and he's got no interest in the NFL. And he's like, isn't this a bit weird? Like, he keeps on seeing these people coming in. Or like people dying in mistake. Like there's a fella who's like an American footballer and he starts going mad. There's another one who shoots himself in the head to stop the pain. There's another one who drills a hole in his head. Right. And he's like, don't you think this is all weird? And I was like, no, it's the NFL, it's fine. And they properly like wouldn't, they were like, this is going to ruin the game, this fella, this outsider. And he found in the brain, there's these parts there's a part in your brain that if you damage it, I think it's your frontal lobes, if you damage them, it'll make you mad, essentially.
Yeah.
And he figured that out. And now they can whip your skull off now. And look at your brain and look at the pattern on the skull and to know if you've had this. They can look like they can check it now. And when they took Benoit's, they looked concussion. It's called. And when they took Benoit's, they opened it up and went, they knew straight away. Because basically his finishing move was he jumped off the top rope and like hit you on the head. Now he stood. Imagine doing that every single night.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a really good film. It's one of those like overlooked film, but he changed the whole thing, and they properly tried to destroy him as well. They cut off all his funding because the NFL had that much power, and they laughed at him. And in the end, I think he got through. I think what it was one of them, a American footballer killed himself, and they were completely shocked. He was only young, and I think a couple of people started to come to him now, going, "We actually believe you. We'll get you in the room with these people," and but you've got to convince them, like you've got to back up the science. And in the end, he did.
Mad. Steve John, I think it was, said he was eating his mash and sausage and mash till you said throw it in the mouth. And he's gone off it now.
Nick, how was I so close to Chris Benoit? I was at WrestleMania 17 and I was at Access the day before, and we'd met up with these lads who I didn't know from London. They were West Ham fans, which was good because we played West Ham on the Saturday and beat them 2-0. And they were doing this Q&A and they were asking people to ask questions, and this lad literally asked them a question, and we were like, he was there right in front of us, and this fella was asking questions, and it was the most funniest question because he was asking about his finishing move, the crossface, and basically the lad was asking him how it put people to sleep, and Chris Benoit had to obviously had to answer this question seriously, but obviously it doesn't put people to sleep because it's wrestling. I'm watching him squirm through it, so that's how close I was.
Dosbick said hello. Ped and Baz, he always forgets it's live at 5. I mean, the clues kind of...
It's on the screen. Quite big on the screen.
Kevin Rex says, Jerry Maguire, Show Me the Money.
Good film. Good film.
Went on a bit, but it was all right. Steve Kelly says Cantona or Bergkamp.
For what?
What
Bergkamp was a better player.
Yeah. Cantona had that little bit of je ne sais quoi, didn't he?
But
he was like the hard.
He had that little bit of I do not know. But
I've seen his video today. His happy birthday to that fella. He shaved all his head.
No. But Cantona probably revolutionised the game in this country.
Yeah, he did. And Bergkamp was amazing. Stuart Hughes says, Baz, after watching Bernard dropping Rudiger, do you fancy his chances? Yeah, Rudiger's a beast.
Robbie says Junior Seau was the NFL player who shot himself in the heart and left a note asking them to check his brain for CTE, and he had it bad. There you go. That's how bad it was. I mean, imagine having to drill a hole in your head because you think you'll release the pain.
That's bad. That is bad.
But it was undiagnosed. No one knew.
Yeah,
so
no.
What a horrible, horrible thing. The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, that's a good film.
He was the one. Was it Hernandez who killed his...
Yeah, but...
Was he on trial?
So Hernandez killed himself because he figured out that this law meant that if he killed himself while he was on appeal, that is, his conviction would be quashed and his wife would get the money.
I had a happy birthday last week. Cheers, and I'm still... if it's...
Where do I find this Benoit documentary? Please.
I mean, we're still on. We just paused or what?
I think we might have frozen the internet. Yeah. Well, internet's been a bit sus there, sorry.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Dobsick. Thanks, Benoit. Yeah. Thanks,
Benoit.
Yeah.
I read somewhere Benoit's brain looked like an old person's brain. That's from Mail Me. Yeah.
Paul.
So where is this? Is this Benoit documentary on YouTube? Can someone link me up?
Dark Side of the Ring, Chris Benoit, brilliant. There is someone.
I mean, I've seen videos called The Dark Side of the Ring, and I was never pressing play on them.
No, well, this is what it says. Upsetting, but really good.
No, I don't mind upsetting if it's like truthful.
Great.
Thank you, Toffee Nat. I don't mind true. I like. So I watched the one last night with the lads who. And I didn't know this. I was watching it and I knew this kid had died. Another one about the Boston Celtics. He signed and he went to celebrate, and he died of because he had a couple of lines of the white stuff.
Yeah.
And he died, but then I didn't know that his brother got murdered a few years later, and his mum, basically she become a doctor, and now she goes around the world helping and stuff, and talking about it. And that's she was like, I will not let my sons be victims and me not do nothing. And she went away and done something incredible. So sad. So sad.
Mad. Steve Kelly says, is there any sporting event you'd like to go to which you haven't been to? Non-footballing, obviously. You've been to WrestleMania, haven't you? So.
Yeah, but there are other sports.
No, I'm saying it's the
I'd
one.
like,
It's the one that
yeah, I'd tell you what I would like to go to. I'd like to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But there's very little chance of that.
I think I'd go and watch an NBA game, I think. Just to see what it was like.
I've been to an NBA friendly. Went the Magic.
Yeah.
Orlando Magic. Last day of the Masters, something like that. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know.
There you go. Right. Are we...
Robbie says it's a two-parter with Chris Benoit. There are 2 series of the Dark Side of the Ring. I'll have a little look into that. Dozvik says, do you guys like snooker?
It's all right. I don't have a...
I'm already asked. I used to like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Paul said they have one about Owen Hart coming up, interviewed his widow, had never given an on-camera interview about it before. I was watching that show when Owen Hart died. I was watching it live.
Yeah, you should.
And it was so surreal. So surreal.
Just carried on, didn't he?
It carried on. Just moved the body and carried on.
Berserk.
Lewis G said, went to watch my favourite NBA team, the Lakers, and it was amazing. How much did that cost you? It's expensive, isn't it? Wilder says, I'm actually done with football. It's all scripted now with VAR. Fair enough. Lewis says in 2 years ago in LA.
Tom Haynes, there isn't any links about Lewis grabbing. Nothing.
Lewis grabbing? You're laughing.
I think he's going to go to Liverpool, they said.
Would you go, Dara says, would you go to NFL London? Yeah, I probably would. The thing is, I'm not as committed. Dozberg, yeah, you should be. You should be.
Yeah, I'm devastated that you're not.
Should be. I'm
got
not...
a full interview with Stephen Pienaar coming up on Patreon. It's amazing.
It'll be up in 5 minutes.
There you go.
Thing about it is, right, I'm not... Something like the NBA, the NFL in London, is that I'd like to go to that, but I'm just not committed enough to go, I need to be at the terminal for the computer at 9 o'clock to buy these tickets. If there was like some left, at like, I don't know, by the time I get up, then I might get them.
What, 3 in the afternoon?
Yeah, exactly. So, and I'm like that about just about everything, if I'm honest. Yeah. So...
You'd have to really want to do it, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It's like with these people like go, it's like things like Glastonbury. I'd like to go to Glastonbury, but it would have to be on my terms.
I'd rather sit on the cop.
No, but it'd have to be on my terms. It'd have to be a nice motorhome, where nice and clean. I can go back to it every night, go to bed, get up and do the thing. I couldn't be in a tent in mud. Just could not do that.
Not mad, isn't it? Ryder Cup would be Boss 3-day party. It would be, Paul. Ryder Cup would be interesting.
My thing about anything though, I'm not someone who can... If I went to the Ryder Cup, I'd have to do it properly. Kevin Rex says, how does Patreon work? Well, essentially... Bar's leaving the room. How it works is, you pay us money and we give you content. So we have this show on Monday to Thursday. We have other shows that are just on Patreon. We have podcasts that are just on Patreon. So you get a lot more content. We do the lives, as I said. And then there's other little things we do now and again, behind the scenes stuff. You get generally all the videos early as well, so you might get them like 24 hours, 48 hours before they go on YouTube. You get longer videos, so you might get like a video for like an hour and a half sometimes. And essentially what it pays for is the fact that we can come in here every day and it's our job. And that means we can create better content. So like we do all that. So we've been doing loads of interviews and stuff. They all take time. They all take time to edit. So £3 a month. It's a pint, isn't it? It's a pint. It's a coffee. It's a coffee now. So patreon.com/Toffee TV EFC. For a month, you get discounts as well on the merch, mugs, t-shirts, hoodies. I mean, we don't really push it very hard, but We've got a nice community over there as well. You get to go on the Discord forum as well, which is great. We've got like a really nice, you get the Circle of Trust, well said Michael Barrett as well. There you go. Matthew Lumsden, where the dogs lie in the Dolphins' plans. Dogs are like the soldiers. The dogs are the soldiers on land for the Dolphins. Baz doesn't understand what he's come back into here.
You understand? Okay, you're explaining.
Addy says you'd rather go to the Ryder Cup than Glastonbury. You pair need to give it up. Well, why though? What's Glastonbury's like? As I've already
Glastonbury, so I have to give my head a wobble because I don't want to sit in Glastonbury.
Glastonbury is. I've already
you
said
need
that.
To give your head a wobble.
I'm not massively into music,
no.
So a lot of the stuff doesn't really interest me. What's great about Glastonbury is when you watch it on telly, you get to see it like up and close. Whereas the realism side of it is, you'd probably be miles back because you couldn't be asked getting to the front at 6 in the morning. So
I don't even have it on me. So if it comes,
I watch it.
If I turn over and it's on me telly, it goes off within a second. I can't be arsed with it. It's nonsense.
I like to watch it,
but I accept that people love it.
But I like to watch a lot of things that I wouldn't go to because it's the hassle of actually going to them, isn't it? You know, that's life. That's life.
Each to their own.
That's it. What you've got to think of though is if for every person like us who doesn't want to go to Glastonbury, more chance of you getting a ticket.
Yeah.
That's what you got to.
That's a good way of looking at it.
That's a good way to look at it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stuart Stewart said UFC London. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to see a bit of UFC, but again, I'm not massively overcommitted that I'd be like desperate to go. Michael Barrett says, I like music, but I don't want to stand in mud with Tories to watch it. Matthew Lumsden says, if the Dolphins are Tories, when will the aliens take out? I mean, none of that really makes sense, Matt. None of that. What you've just written down, I feel dumber for reading it. I feel thicker. Stephen G says, just a heads up from down in Australia, we've pretty much banned sporting events until 2021. The COVID-19 situation's pretty good down here. Might be, well, good down here.
Sporting crowds.
Might well be until 2021 before Premier League stadiums are reopened. No, listen, I appreciate that. And I think literally something's just been said of that note at the thing that it's going to be 2021 before mass gatherings are going to be allowed, essentially. Ellis says, Glastonbury sitting in 2 foot of mud, miles away from the stage, high as a kite on Ket. Don't sound great to me.
Yeah. Give me that
why would you be high as a kite on a kettle? Too many cups of tea?
Possibly.
Paul says, not counting a footy match, have you ever walked out on something that was really bad? No, because once I've paid for something, I'm staying there. And I haven't walked out on a footy match either. Lee says, what did you think of WrestleMania 17? It's the greatest WrestleMania ever, and I was there. I mean, I probably would have been closer if it sat at home. I was that far away in the Superdome, where all the people went after Katrina. That's where they all went, I went. Houston.
In Houston, Texas.
Nick, on a kettle. That's what you wear. That's what I said, kettle. Didn't say anything else.
No, why wouldn't you?
High as a kettle. It does make you laugh though when you watch if you're watching like Holby or Casualty, or even like real life things, and the amount of times now they're like, yes, we give them this, and we've given them a little bit of ketamine as well. I'm just like, well, lads, you being a Sam. Did you boo The Rock? I would never boo The Rock, ever. But I did get to see Trish Stratus as well, which was pretty damn good. I also got to see Shane O'Mac versus Vince Mac, which was just unbelievable.
Snooker's World Championship has been rescheduled and will start on the 31st of July.
Can't they do like the darts, internet? Like internet snooker?
Well, if they've tested and they're thingy, they don't have to have anyone in, do they?
Yeah. Dizbeck says, we have Get Festival in Budapest, Hungary. 80% of people are foreigners. They charge you a price suited to the Western Europe, etc. It's just disgusting to me. Stephen G says, fair play, Ped. So what do you reckon, everyone? Is it okay to walk out before the game's over? Nope.
People do, don't they? Loads of people do.
Harry says yes to boys. I feel like Harry's just turned up. I feel like he's just got onto it.
Hello, Harry. I mean,
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Yeah, we are definitely finishing though.
Yeah.
Because we've done well over an hour.
We have.
Tom says, just finished watching Sunderland Till I Die. What would be your thoughts if Netflix or Amazon did a show on Everton? I'd love it. I would love it. I'd love it. Stuart says, Jake the Snake or the Boogeyman? Jake the Snake. Classic. Classic.
Just on the Sunderland Till I Die, I spoke to Callan McManaman this week, and big Evertonian, but he was at Sunderland when they were doing the documentary, and he hated it. Yeah. Turned mics down and stuff.
Listen, you asked us about it, and we've just literally said, well, yeah, I was speaking to someone who was in it. Do you know what I mean?
That's what happens.
That's what happens on this channel. It's hard to copy and paste that, but you know. Harry says, Lara, I'm in Iton, it's 5 a.m. Eugene says, thumbs up to the NHS staff right now that at work like they are doing. Yeah, I mean, thumbs up, but give them a pay rise.
Give them a pay rise, yeah.
Kevin Rex says, Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair? Ric Flair.
I met Ric Flair in Hollywood Studios in 1996, got a picture with him. And he was walking with some woman, and I was like, oh, Rick, can I have a photo? Touched him, like, and he turned down. Mate, he was like
you took your life.
I did, and I can have a photo. And he was like, hey, yeah. And he but he had muscles on muscles. And
did you ask him? Off. Did you not ask him to do it?
Flares.
Yeah, I would have just said to him, do it.
He was with too big.
Woo!
Yeah, he didn't give me
what
the
a man. Matthew Lumsden. Look at that. That woo stopped the stream then. It paused when I wooed.
When you done the wow.
Matthew Lumsden says, where do the spiders fall with the Dolphins' plans? Stop. See, who am I? I don't know the Dolphins' plans. Yeah, but what I do know is
that the plan and
they were in the Mersey yesterday, so they're obviously having
Dolphins are communicating without a shadow of a doubt with spiders.
No, you not being funny, but the spiders, you do not want to get the spiders organised. We did a story about this, and they said if spiders had hive minds, like they all talk to each other, they could eat the whole planet
very quickly
in 1 year. There's enough of them to eat all of us if they all got together. If they all got together and we're going. Oh God, you felt a little pain in the back there. Oh, if they all said we're going for Boris, and they all convened in whatever B&B's in right now, and they all just started chomping them. There's nothing Boris could do. Harry says, if anyone likes wrestling, I'm a wrestler. Get on my socials.
Okay.
I mean, there you go.
Are you going into WWE or what?
Lewis says, what's your go-to board game?
Go-to board game? Trivial Pursuit. Okay.
And then Michael Barrett says, and I think you got this will probably have to round things up. He says, you're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeler dealing, limousine riding, just flying, son of a gun. Woo!
Do that to me. He just smiled and had a picture with me.
Yeah. Fair play. I mean, he's more relaxed. There you go.
Full on Ric Flair.
We're out. Got it. Can't top that. Can't top that. We'll see you later. Paul, mate, come in. Come in.
Even Paul, mate. No, he socially. Oh no, he's all right.
Just open the door.
Open the door. Oh. Just open the door quick before the stream goes off.
A lot of people are talking about Ric Flair on the
I've met Ric Flair. I was just relaying meeting Ric Flair.
Woo! Paul mate's in there. You can't see him, but he's just wooed.
He's full on wooed. Not much you can say. Right. What have you done? It'll be me that has that nightmare, Stevens. I'm gone.